Sohaib is saying, I selected access link for what is the result of this configuration, which type of link will it be formed? Link type is auto to auto and still did not give me what it was right or wrong. Yes, Sohaib, sometime in your browser, it does not show you, but in your email, you can check the email which has come to you. It will show you the exact result, what you chose and what was the answer. Is there a lab for implementation? Jamu says, no, Jamu, the lab is same which I shared with you. You can create, you can use that lab to do it. This lab. So let me drop it in the chat window. I have dropped in the Zoom. You can download from there, but better you do it yourself. Drag the switches so that you know how to create the switches, how to drag them, how to start them as well. Okay. So let's move next. The protocol, and then we will take all the questions after the lab once your concepts are good. So STP, like we discussed, we need some redundancy at layer 2 because on layer 2, there is a major chance of loops happening, which is mainly due to the default behavior of the switch. But that default behavior of a switch, it does not mean switch is a bad device. Switch is very good device and we need this device actually for our networks building. So can everyone hear me clearly, guys? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Jamal might be your side. Okay, because Jamal said he has issue. So we need STP basically for the redundancy. Redundancy means we have extra links which are populating the information multiple times. So we need to stop those links so that information from one host to another host goes only one time. So it receives only one copy, not multiple copies. How does it work? We will go through in the detail. It is called spanning tree, means it becomes like a tree. So we will see in our topology. First of all, what is STP? It is a protocol and the official number which has been assigned to this protocol is 802.1d. It came in 1988 because as soon as we came with the switches, then we started feeling the requirement of this kind of protocol. So initially after IP protocol, we stipulated this one. And then layer 2 protocol, it builds loop-free topology. It helps us to build the loop-free topology. This is the purpose. And then it is enabled by default. This is important point. It is automatically inside the switch. So whenever you buy a switch from Cisco and you bring it to your office, to your home to make the network, you just turn it on and use it. It is automatically built in inside the switch. Same as in packet tracer, you might have seen as soon as we turn on our topology. So let me go through the STP lab as well in parallel so that whatever I explain, I can show you practically as well. So this is our STP lab, guys, which you have to follow. This is an observation lab only. Means you just have to observe because in STP there is not much configuration and it is enabled by default. We don't have to do much after we buy a switch. It is automatically there. Okay, the lab is opening. Meanwhile, let's move back to our lecture. So the roles which are selected are based on the ID. Each switch in spanning tree protocol in STP is assigned an ID and it is called as bridge ID, or you can say as switch ID. So switch ID is basically priority plus MAC. Means the default priority is this one, and then if the MAC address is AAA, then this is called as bridge ID. So priority, which is fixed always, and then this one is MAC address, which is also fixed on the device. We will see this one in our lab as well. There are multiple types of STP. We have multiple types of STP. Originally, it came in 1988. After that, there were some variations. Each vendor and many researchers, they said, okay, let's modify it a little bit to cope up with the new type of devices, with the new type of protocols. And we came up with multiple flavors of STP. One is called as per VLAN spanning tree, means for each VLAN we have an STP. We also have multiple spanning tree if we want to have multiple different based on our requirement. We also have called as RSTP, rapid spanning tree protocol. But these are the topics of CCNP. For here we need to know per VLAN means based on VLAN, MST means multiple, RSTP means rapid, means it goes quickly. We have different ports of STP port states. initially each port is disabled, then it goes into blocking, listening, learning, and finally forwarding. Forwarding means it is sending and receiving data. Disabled means it, and blocking means it is not doing anything at all. We will see this one as well. Our topology has opened, so let's click on confirm guest and then go to our topology. In the topology, you will see, let me delete a link and then enable the link again. This extra thing, zoom in. Can you see the topology now clearly? Okay, so let me delete a link and then enable the link again. Then you can watch these LEDs. This is orange green. Now it means topology has been stable. So let's delete one of the link in here and in that one is enough. Okay, so let me create that link again. So as soon as we connect the switches together, you can see the lights have turned amber. Let me delete all of them and then connect them together. Why the lights are amber, why the lights are orange color? It means they are talking to each other and they are discussing, okay guys, because in this case, loop will happen because we have multiple paths, we have a circle. So they are talking to each other, okay, how to make a loop-free topology. You will see finally, all the ports will turn on, means there will be two links, and the third one will be, now you can see it is turning green, means they are doing the STP. I have not done any configuration, I just dragged the switches. I just bought from Cisco and I connected them together. Another link has come up. Let's wait for the third one. Now you can see finally which link is down, guys. Out of these links, between which switch? This is switch 1, 2, and 3. So which link is down? Or which link has been S1 and 2? Very good, Mr. Suhaib Salamu, Mr. Jamal Kamaluddin, Obi, okay, Bolaji as well. Yes, this link has been dropped, but what is the result of this link now? So now the actual topology, the final topology, logical one will be like this. So we have one switch, and one switch. Now this link is operational and this link is operational. There is no third link. Is there a chance of loop happening now? If the data comes from this side, can it go back from the other side? No. Yes. So this is what we want to achieve automatically from spanning tree protocol, to remove the extra link, to block them temporarily. But if by mistake, if by any chance this link goes down, then this link will be automatically enabled. So I can show you as well. If I delete one of this link, then you will see that that link will become automatically, after the negotiation, it will renegotiate after the timers, and finally this link will come up as well, because now the communication is down between them. Switch 1 cannot send data to switch 2 in any case. So it will recalculate the whole STP, but it will take some time, because sometime the link might be flickering, the link might be temporarily dropped, so we don't want to do calculation again and again. So there are timers for which it waits a while and then it does all the calculation. So this link will come up as well after some time. So this is the use of spanning tree protocol. Right? So instead of waiting, I'll show you after some time, it will come up automatically. This is the use of STP. And then there are some rules by which link should be dropped, because sometimes you can see now this link has come up. It has done automatically configuration because that link was down. Now let me establish that link again. So you will see that it will do the renegotiation. See that link has been dropped again. So finally this link will come up, and then the other link between switch 1 and 2 will come up automatically. Yes, this is a redundancy as well. So maybe you are right. We can consider it as redundancy. When Ether says solve the STP solves the looping of layer 2 switches. Yes, means the layer 2 protocol, because everything what we are discussing today is about layer 2 and switching. I have not talked about any routing protocol or anything else, right? So this is how now it is talking to each other. After it has talked, now this link is up between switch 2 and 3. So this is the use of STP, and this is the lab which we will be doing today as well. You can do some experiments. Can we configure the link? No need to configure, Suhaib, but if you want to implement some extra parameters, then yes, you can do it. Okay, so now you understand why we need STP and what is the use. And then each switch has a bridge ID as well. So let's do it with an example. So without STP, if we have this kind of topology, then we have to remove this link physically without STP. But with STP, we can keep the physical link, but logically it will remove the link. As soon as the other side goes down, then it will come up. Okay, so STP operation, this is the most important you have to understand. There are 4 steps I will do on the big picture again. So let's understand from here. First one is elect the root bridge. So in the whole topology, we have to elect first of all one root switch, one root bridge, means the master who will do everything. So they will negotiate with each other. We saw in packet tracer, they were talking to each other during that process. First of all, what they were doing, they were sending messages to each other. Okay, guys, who want to become the boss? Who want to become the boss? So finally they said, okay, guys, I will become the boss. And this one is called as root bridge or root server. Step number 1. Step number 2, but how does it become? How did they discuss? So basically they sent messages to each other and then they said, okay, whoever has the lowest bridge ID will become the root. So who had the lowest bridge ID? You can see here 32769001. This is the bridge ID. This is the bridge ID. This is the bridge ID of switch 3. So which one has the lowest bridge ID? This one, because it is 1. So it became root bridge. You can modify the bridge ID yourself. I'll show you how to do it so that the other one will become, or take another switch which has the lowest and then you will see automatically it will become. But we don't have to interfere. We just have to see. We just have to observe in STP. We have to understand so that whenever there is a problem, we can troubleshoot. We can find what is the problem. Okay, then select the second one is select the root ports. So on each of the remaining switch, we have to select one root port. Root port is the port which is facing to the root bridge, right? Step number 1, again, select the root bridge and whoever is facing each switch has to select one root port. So this is root port and this is root port. Why? Because it was directly facing towards the root bridge. Step number 3, select the designated port on each link. So on each of the links in STP, we have to select one designated port. So this one, all the ports on the root bridge are designated in simple words. So first of all, they become designated ports. After that, the decision comes between this one, that which one should be designated and which one should not be, because there were 2 ports, FA0/2 and FA0/2 on this side. So which one has to become the designated port, right? So for that one, we have few rules. Prefer the neighbor with the lowest cost to the root. Prefer with the neighbor with the lowest bridge ID. And the third rule, prefer the lowest sender port ID, means everything which is lower. So in this case, why this link was selected as designated port? Because it has the lowest bridge ID. This is number 2 and this is number 3. So neighbor with the lowest bridge ID. So it has lower, number 2, and it got selected as designated. Then last step is block everything else. So whatever is left now, what have we done until now? So we selected root bridge, we selected root ports, this port is done, this one is done, we selected designated port, this one, this one, this one. What is left? Whatever is left, just block them. So this was left only, we blocked it. So as a result, what have we got now? This link has been blocked, right? This link is up, this one is up, and this one is blocked. So finally, we got this kind of topology now. This switch, and this switch. Of course, there is no chance of loops now because this link has been blocked temporarily. Clear, guys? Let's go to the big example now. This one. Here you can see clearly, I hope. So here, let's do all the steps again. Step number 1 is, what is the step number 1, guys? You tell me. Root bridge, yes. Make the root bridge. Eddie Young, Daniel, Mr. Omoto, Zakaria, Salavu. Let's see. Okay, very good. So which one is the root bridge out of here? Switch 1, switch 2, or switch 3? S1. Okay. Thank you, Edobo, Israel, John, Jamal, Minizer, Mr. Frank, Mr. George. Yes. So this one has become the root bridge. So it became the boss, right? Now it became the boss. So whoever is facing the port, that port on each switch will become what? What is the second step now? Yes, Theo, selecting the root ports. So what is the root port? Switch number 2, FA0/1 will be the root port. Why? Because it is facing the root bridge. Similarly, on switch number 3, this one will become the RP, means root port, because it is facing the, this one is also RP because it is facing the, what is the third step now, guys? Designated port. Very good, Kamaluddin. So step number 3, what we are doing is designated port. So which ports are designated ports now? Two are very simple because on root bridge, every port is designated. So this is DP, because of course everybody has to send data to the root bridge. So DP and DP, we found them. Now this one is already root, this one is already root. Now out of these two, which one should become? Actually, this is the same example. Maybe we will take another example after this. So out of this one, we already saw the example because this one has the lowest bridge ID, because all other digits are same. You can see 32769002, everything is same. Only this 2 is different. So this one also becomes as designated port, right? This one. So what is the last step? Just block everything else. So that is the BP, means blocked port. BB, yeah, blocked port. So it's very simple example, right? These are all the steps actually which we have to do in STP. So mainly we will focus on the lab. If you don't mind, would you repeat why do we do? Of course, Mr. Suhaib, no problem. You can ask me. So you want to ask that why do we do this? Which step, Suhaib? Which step? Please write there. I will explain which step. DP or DP root ports, or starting from first. Okay. Means repeat everything again what we discussed just now. So root ports. Yes, root port is basically a port on each of the switch. So step number 1, we make one switch as the designated switch, right? Designated switch, whichever has the lowest. It's 1, is 2, and 3. So this one has the lowest one, so it will become the root bridge or root switch. Then on each of the switch, we have to select now. Why do we need link between switch 2 and 3? So that, yes, Salavu, very good. So we can remove this link permanently. Why we are doing this whole practice, right? Can anybody give example? Can anybody answer Salavu's question? Salavu is saying we are achieving the topology. So why don't we remove this link permanently and then that's all? Why do we need this whole protocol of STP? Yes, Daniel says redundancy. Anyone else can answer to Salavu? Why are we doing STP at all? Yes. Yes, Mr. Smart. Okay, Mr. Costa Kula. Redundancy and avoid loops. Why? Because in that case, if we remove this permanently, so what happens, Salavu, if this link also goes down? So then this whole communication will be permanently blocked. But in case of STP, we are blocking this temporarily. This is blocked port, right? This has been blocked temporarily on one side only. So when, and these links are open. But if by mistake or by error, if this link also goes down, then this will come up automatically. The topology will become like this. So in that case, the communication will still continue, right? So that's why we need STP. Clear, Salavu? Okay, good. So this was the example. And then each link has a cost as well. So like Mr. Suhaib and other people said that how we can modify this. For example, if we do not want this link to become the blocked port, we want, for example, this side to become, or maybe this side to become the block ports, or maybe we want to drop this link temporarily and improve this link. So that how to modify the configuration. So to modify, we have the cost actually. So if we modify the cost, then the lowest cost is always preferred. If we make the cost as 100, then the communication will go through this one because it has cost of 19 and cost is fixed as well. So for FE link, so for 100 MB link, it is 19 always. There is a table as well, which you can refer. Okay. Now, few more important points. So it has 3 types of ports. We already know: root port, designated port, and blocking port, right? And then this is the link cost, which is fixed. We do not change it, but we can change if we want to tweak, if we want to modify the default behavior. For 10 MB link, the cost is 100. For 100 MB link, the cost is 19. Do you set the bridge ID? No, Jamu, they will take automatically. So when I show you the lab, I will show you, they will pick up automatically based on the MAC address. Then 1 GB is 4. You can see as the bandwidth is increasing, this one is decreasing. It means if we have a link of 1 GB, that will be preferred over 100 MB link. Why low speed, high cost? Yes, Mr. Frank, so that they are preferred. So what should be the default behavior of STP? If one side of the link, for example, there is another path in here, and this one is 1 GB. This one is 1 GB, means 1000 MB, and this one is only 100 MB. So what should we prefer in that case? This one, because it will have lower cost. It will have 2, and here the cost is 19. So this link will be blocked temporarily, and then this link will be through permanently. When this goes down, it will automatically switch to here. Can we reduce the, what do you mean by STP cost? Maybe like I explained, the cost is just the representation that which link has the highest bandwidth. So the lowest cost will be preferred. Same like, yes, like OSPF. Yes, very good. Mebu says, okay, Smart says, can we reduce the fast Ethernet cost? Yes, you can reduce the cost as well. There is a command to do that. But here we are not required to do that. If you want to do it, you can. I will send you the command on WhatsApp. Okay, so this is about STP. Let's move to the lab and we see it practically now. The lab of STP is more practical, and I want your participation instead of I do something. Now I want you to answer that why this link has been blocked instead of this link, right? Can somebody answer that why? You can see here, this is switch number 2, this is switch number 3, right? Let me delete these 2 switches first to make it simple. Okay, now we have 3 switches, guys. Here, so that you can see clearly which port is which one. Now you know which port is going to which side. This is switch number 1, switch number 2, and switch number 3. Can everybody see clearly? So that we practice practically based in here. First of all, can somebody tell me which switch is the root bridge here? Which switch from the topology, can you see that? Switch 3, okay, very good. Kamaluddin, Jeremy, Mr. Mebu, Movimba, a bit wrong. Please check again, because we discussed that root switch or root bridge should have all the ports as designated port, means all ports will be enabled. All links will be enabled. Switch 3, yes, very good, guys. So you got it. Why? Because this side, the link, both side link is up, and also this side, both ports and the link is up. So it means this switch is the root bridge. If you want to see this from the configuration as well, so click in here, click on this one, and from here you can see. So we say enable show spanning tree summary. So in the summary, root bridge for default means this bridge is the root bridge for default. So if default, it means it is locally the root bridge. Let's go to the other ones. It will say for nothing. So we go to switch number 1 here, and we go to CLI. We run it. We say enable show spanning tree summary. This is the command, and here we say root bridge for nothing. There is nothing written here. While if we go to switch number 3, we will say that this is the root bridge for. This is how you can check which bridge is the root bridge, which switch is the root bridge. Actually, why we are calling it bridge? Why not switch? Because STP is old protocol. At that time, there were bridges. There were no switches in 1988. So they just named it like that. But bridge means switch actually. Because we don't use those old bridges or hubs these days. So clear? Now you can find, right? Now we need to check. So what is the status of step number 1 is done. This bridge is the root bridge. We are clear, we are confirmed. Now we need to know What is the status of these two ports, guys? FA0/1 and FA0/2. So what is the status of these ports on the root bridge? Designated ports. Very good, very good. But this was not our step number 2. Our step number 2 was to find the root ports on each of the switch. So what will be the root port on switch number 1 and switch number 2? Manager says FA0/2 on switch 1. So switch 1, yes, very good. So this is our root port because this one is facing. And then Salavu says on switch number 1, Eddie Deong says switch 1 FA0/2 and switch 3, Manager says FA0/3. Very good. This port will be the root port because it is facing on that side, right? Step number 3 is what? Step number 3 says find all the designated ports. So which are designated port now? We know on root bridge, it's always designated port. So DP, this is also DP. Now between this link, guys, from the topology, can you see which one is designated port? Switch 2 side or switch 1? So which one is designated port here? FA0/1, okay. No, Kamaluddin, observe again. Is it 1 or 1? On which switch? Yes, you are right, but on which switch? Switch 2 side, yes, very good. Very good, smart, yes. So this one is because we can see this color is amber, so this port is blocked, and then this one is our designated port. So what is step number 4 now? Block all the remaining ports. So this port is blocked. It means that what is our final topology now? The final topology says this link is up, this link is up, and this link is temporarily down. And the final topology will look like this. It will look, this link is not there anymore. This is the purpose of spanning tree, right? Let's do our lab now. The lab says identify which switch is the root bridge. So we have to identify, we will go on each of the switch, we will run the command just like we did. So we will run this command, show spanning tree summary. And here we will find that default means it is the locally. It is the STP. What is the meaning of D port? Smart, it is the designated port. There should be one designated port on each segment like we discussed. OB says, how is the designated port chosen? Okay, designated port, there are few roles. So the question of OB and the other guys is that on this link, how the switch decided that this one should be blocked and this side FA0/1 should be the designated, right? So for this one, we have these 3 rules. We prefer the highest, we prefer the neighbor with the highest cost to, with the lowest cost to the root, right? So the cost is same because all links are FE. So this one we are not caring. Prefer the neighbor with the lowest bridge ID. So let's see which one has the lowest bridge ID, whether this one has the lowest bridge ID or this one has. So let me find both of the bridge IDs and then we can see. So to find the bridge ID, we run the same command, show spanning tree. No, so the normal command shows spanning tree without status. So then it will tell us what is the bridge ID. We have only one VLAN and the bridge ID is this one. 32769. Sorry, 32769. And then this is the MAC address. So what is the bridge ID for this one? Let me write here. For switch 1, what would become, guys? Can somebody tell me that what would be the bridge ID of this switch based on this one? This is about root, so we don't care about this. So please tell me from here that what would be the bridge ID. Yes, 32769, then MAC address. Okay, thank you, Eddie Deong. So it will be 32769 dot the MAC address 00E0 F9 55 99 60. Very good, Mr. Frank Kamara, Mr. Israel. Thank you. Kamaluddin also right. Daniel 00E0. Very good. You are also right. Movimba. Okay. Thank you, guys. So this will be the Bridge ID for switch 1. Let's find for switch number 2 now. Let's go to switch number 2 and then we find from here. Show spanning tree. There is only one command. And then for this command, let's make it a little bit big to show it properly. Okay, so root, we don't care. This is telling about the root actually. But the bridge ID of the local one is 32769, which is always fixed. And then 006035 EE. Sorry, I deleted that as well. Right? So this is the bridge ID for switch number 2. So the same thing, 32769 dot 0060 dot 3E55 E404. So which one is big out of these two number, guys? Now tell me. This one and this one. Which number is big? Because we have to prefer the lowest number. Switch 1, yes. No, not switch 1. No, E is bigger than that. Sorry, my mistake. E is bigger than. So how do we write hexadecimal? Hexadecimals are basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we have A, B, C, D, and E. So D is basically 14. Yes, A, B, C, D, E, F. So 9, 10, 11, 13, and 14. So D is big or 6 is big because that's the only difference between these two. Here you can see this one is E, this one is 6. So E is bigger, right? Switch 2, yes. So it means switch 2 is smaller, sorry, not bigger. Switch 2 is smaller. That's why this port will be selected as designated port. And the one which is bigger will be the blocked port. So clear, guys? The people who asked that how come this port became down and this port became designated port? Is it clear now or still question? Clear. Okay. Thank you, Eddie Young. I think you asked this one. Abby, Daniel. Okay. Now I want you guys to do these practices as well yourself. So what I want you to do after today's lab, take this lab which I have given you and make it small. So this is how you will learn more as well. So I want you to observe more because this is the lab which we have done already. What is the STP role and the state of the port? Okay, let's continue this one. Then I show you how to do next. So point number 2 says identify which spanning tree type is running on switch 1 and 2. So let's go on switch number 1. CLI, like I told you, there are many types of spanning trees, right? So we run the same command, show spanning tree summary. Does it tell us or it's full spanning tree? Yes. So it says switch is in which type of mode? PVST. That is the default one. John says why E is bigger? PVST. Yes. So this is how we find. That's all. This is the answer. Third point says what is the STP role and state of port on FA0/1 on switch 4 is gone. Actually, I deleted. So let's go point number 4. What is the STP role and state of port FA0/1 on switch 2? PVST. Okay, thank you guys. So let's find this one. They are saying on switch number 2. Let's go to switch number 2 first. This is switch number 2. So their question is, what is the port status on FA0/1? Either it's blocking, either it is forwarding, either it is what? Port role and state, yes. Whether it's designated port, blocking port, or what. So we say show spanning tree. This one. So here we can see what is the role of the port? It's designated port. DP. What is the status of the port? Is forwarding. It means it is currently forwarding the packets. Designated and forwarding. Clear, guys? So this is how we have to do this lab as well. It's very simple lab. It's observation lab. You don't have to do any configuration. But what I want you to do after you understand, after you sit properly, easily watch this lecture again, and then open this lab, try to do it. So in that case, what you will have to do, you just have to go here, take more switches and keep on adding. So if you add one more switch here, And then you add one more switch here, add one more switch here, and then connect them, whatever topology you want. So just connect them together and then see. And first you try to guess that what would happen in that case. And then you go to the port and then try to check. Keep on connecting, make a mesh. Now align them a little bit. Now the scenario becomes a little bit complex. Now which one will be, now you can see all the links are down again, because now they started the whole negotiation because topology has changed. So every time you change the topology, they are talking to each other. So now let them talk, and then I will ask you which switch is the root switch, root bridge, right? Let me make it big, give it some more time. Can't see the port state in this one. Yeah. Now you can see. Okay, guys. So which switch is the root bridge now? Yes, spanning tree is automatically Mebu. Like I said, we don't have to do anything. We just buy the switch, connect them together. They'll do everything themselves. So which switch is the root bridge now, guys? He says the middle one. So Salavu says middle one. No, Salavu, you see one port is down. We discussed that root bridge has all ports up, all links up. Yes, very good. Very good, Mr. Guerrero. Yes, this is switch number 0. Why? Because this link is green and other side is green as well. This one is green, other side is green. All other switches, you will see at least one link will be down. Eddie Diong says switch 0 and switch 2. How? No, Eddie Diong. Switch 2 is which one? Switch 2, you can see this one is having a red link. It means this is down. So manager says switch 1. So most of the guys got it actually. That the switch which has, even you can go to the switch, you can go to CLI, you can also check, enable, show spanning tree. First of all, what is the indication? We have to check that all the ports will be in forwarding status. All the ports will be designated. So you will not find this kind of configuration, this kind of information on any other switch. And if you want to further verify, just run this command, show spanning tree summary. It will tell you that this is the root bridge for default. So if you find the word default, it means this is the one. But technically, you will find all the ports forwarding. Now let's go to switch 2, like other people said. So let's see what is the status here now. Show spanning tree, you can see all ports are forwarding, but at least one port is blocking. So it is not the root bridge. And if you run that command again, summary command, you will see that it will say it is the root bridge for nothing. So being in the middle does not mean that it will be the root bridge. Clear, guys? If you understand this concept, this is very important. So if you understand VLAN properly, if you understand STP, most of the engineer, most of the people, they fall into this one. So I have shown you practically. I have also given you examples. I have tried to make it as simple as possible so that it becomes easy. Now the rest of the thing, watch the video again, do the lab again, which we have given you. This is the lab actually, but I want you to do many labs, not only this one. This is the lab. But we have so many blocking port. Of course, on each link we need to have, we need to block so that it does not go through. So this is the lab which I have showed you already. So just go through this one. It asks you a few questions you have to fill. Okay, manager, your question let me take. Now guys, let's have discussion. Let me take your questions one by one so that we can go through our IPv4 IP types of IP and multicast broadcast as well, so that which we missed last time, which we skipped, but we did in the extra session. I think some of you might not have attended the extra session, so we can go through it now briefly, then you can study on that one as well. So also there is a quiz, please attempt the quiz as well. Manager says, how many, admin please paste the quiz link for STP in the chat window. So he says, why so many blocking ports are there as we add? Yes, there are many. Why? Because, so what will be the resultant topology now? In this topology, loops can happen or not if we don't implement STP. Of course, data can come from here and it can go back this one. So it will be a loop. Also, if we don't implement STP, data can go and data can come back from here as well, or maybe from here as well. But after implementing the STP, what has happened now, guys? So after we implemented STP, which ports have been blocked. So this port has been blocked, so there is no link, there is no link, there is no link, there is no link. Now you check that the final topology, does it have the loop? So this is the final topology now. This one, pink one. So this switches. So it becomes like a tree or not? Right? Who is on the top of the tree? This switch is on the top of the tree. So this is switch number 1. Then we have these 2 switches below it. And then we also have these switches. So switches are same. Yes, everything is automatic, Mr. Israel. So the topology has become like this now, and it becomes a tree or not. Let's say this is switch 0. So let me place switch 0 on the top. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1 is here, and then 2, then 3, and then 4 and 5. So this is the topology actually which we will get finally. Let me remove everything. So is it like a tree or not, guys? This is like a tree. So this is like a tree now. The tree is always like this, branches, and then this is the stem. So this is upside down tree. This is the whole concept. And it's very interesting. Now you have seen that how does it work. Okay, guys, please attempt the quiz so that we will continue after that. So we'll go through IPv4 and I'll take your questions. I think we have time today. Then I can take your extra questions as well, even on the previous lectures as well, which we have studied until today. Kindly finish the quiz.